Welcome, everyone, to Essential Church Branding Tips to boost awareness, attract new members, and drive giving. We're so glad that you've joined us here today. So, hi, everyone. I'm Allie Williams. I'm the Director of Marketing for Faith and Nonprofit here at Vanco, and I've spent almost 20 years helping mission-driven organizations connect their message to real ministry impact through clear communication, strategy, and storytelling. And I'm joined today by two of my colleagues from our internal marketing team, Jordan Myers and Mike McDonald. Jordan leads creative strategy here at Vanco, and he is the one who develops the messaging, the visuals, and digital content that helps churches share their mission more clearly and also inspire generosity. And Mike leads demand generation marketing here at Vanco. He creates the campaigns, the resources, the insights that churches use to drive growth, engage givers, and also increase their impact. So today we will cover a few things during today's session. We'll cover how branding can directly increase giving, attendance, and engagement. We'll cover how to create clear, compelling mission and vision statements. We'll also cover the essential branding elements every church needs to present a clear and consistent identity. And we'll also show you how to design a giving experience, starting with your logo and your giving page all the way through that really reflects your church's heart and values. And our goal here at Vanco is to give you practical tools and inspiration that your church can begin using right away. So before we jump into the branding work, let's take a moment and step back and look at what really helps churches grow. And not just growing in attendance, but also growing in engagement and giving. So here are 6 tried and true steps we've seen churches implement successfully. And this is part of a bigger series that we are doing for churches for them to maximize their giving and church growth. So be sure to check out the other webinars covering the other topics as part of this series. Today, we're focusing on branding, but all 6 are starting with set up your giving tools and pages, making sure they're easy to use, mobile friendly, and that they reflect your church's identity. The second is to share your giving link often and make sure that it's visible across your website, your social platforms, your bulletins, and your email communications. The third is to promote recurring giving. This really helps build consistency and stability in your ministry. Number 4 is to tell stories of impact. You want to help people see how their generosity fuels real life change. Number 5 is thank your givers. You want recognition and gratitude for your givers, and you really want to build that long-term trust with them. Number 6 is create internal champions. So when your staff and leaders embrace generosity and they talk about giving, you want others to follow that. So together, when these steps are aligned under a unified brand, they become part of a bigger story and they're not just isolated actions. So let's talk about a challenge that many churches face. You're doing good ministry, but your people don't always see it. Or maybe you've invested in your website, started using social media, promoted giving in your bulletins, but engagement still feels really flat. Or maybe you're welcoming new visitors who just never return. Maybe giving hasn't kept up with your growth. In today's world, we know that people are making decisions fast. It's often online, it's often based on just a few quick impressions. And so if your church's brand is unclear, inconsistent, or even generic looking, it's really easy to get overlooked and forgotten. But the good news is this: with a strong brand, your church can break through that noise without changing who you are. And that's really important. This is the big question. Can people clearly see who you are and what you stand for? So ask yourself this: do your mission and vision statements guide how you communicate? And if you don't have those, it's time to create them. Are your visual elements, meaning your logo, your colors, your website, are they all working together to tell a consistent story about your church? Is your giving page warm? Is it branded? Is it inviting? Or does it feel just disconnected from the church experience? Are your first time visitors and longtime members getting a consistent message? If you feel like your identity is scattered, chances are it is, and people will feel that. But when your brand is aligned, consistent, and rooted in your mission, people engage more deeply and are more likely to give. I know branding may feel like a business term in the church world, but in the church context, it's really about clarity and connection. And you'll hear us say those words a lot. And it really does help solve those real world challenges that you're facing. So, for one, it makes your church recognizable and approachable. People know what you stand for and what to expect, whether it's online or in person. If you have solid branding, they will have a consistent experience that they know and they trust. It also reinforces your mission and values. So every communication becomes an opportunity to remind people what matters. Strong branding also builds trust in giving. So, a branded, consistent giving experience gives people the confidence that they're giving to a trustworthy, mission driven church, and that's critical. Strong church branding also creates alignment across your team. So, your staff, your volunteers, and your members, they all speak from the same voice and they're all pulled in the same direction. And that unity and that unification is critical. So you may be asking, okay, how do I build that kind of brand for my church? Well, here are what we consider 5 essential elements to get you going. So, number one is your mission statement. And I just want to point out we will include very detailed information on how to do all of this in the church branding kit that you'll receive. But we're going to touch on these things right now, and then we'll give you the chance to go deeper once we send out the replay email with all the information. But the first thing is your mission statement. So this is your purpose. This defines why your church exists and what you value most. So a good mission statement is short, it's memorable, and it's clear. So one example could be, we exist to help people know Jesus and make him known. The second thing is a vision statement. So the vision statement paints a picture of where you're going. What does your church hope to become? What do you want to accomplish in your community? And so an example of this could be to see every household in our city transformed by the gospel and actively connected to a thriving church community. And then building on that is your logo design. So your logo is your visual anchor. When you design your logo, it should be simple, it should be flexible, recognizable, and just really reflective of your identity. So whenever someone sees it on a bulletin, on a mobile app, on a sign, wherever it is, they should immediately know it's you. The fourth thing is brand must-haves. So fonts, colors, your tone of voice, your brand imagery, this all comes together to create consistency across platforms and experiences. So these are the things that help make your church instantly recognizable. The fifth is a branded giving page. And so this is where the action happens. A branded giving page should reflect your church's mission and visual identity. And so when they're on that branded giving page, it needs to feel like an extension of your ministry, not just some generic form. It really needs to look and feel and sound like you. This should tell the story of the impact that you're trying to make and really inspire generosity and engagement with your church. So you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but how do we make it happen without a designer or a full-time communication staff or creative staff on the team? So that's where having the right tools and the right partners comes in. So at Vanco, our team builds digital tools branded templates, and giving experiences that are all designed specifically for churches. And this is what we are passionate about. We create the materials, the messaging, and the strategies that help you turn your mission into action, and most importantly, generosity. So, now to walk you through how all of that works and what you can start using today, I'm going to hand it over to Jordan Myers, and he's going to walk you through some simple, effective tools that you can leverage. Jordan, take it away.
What do people feel when they hear your church's name? That feeling is your brand, not just your logo or tagline, but the story, mission, values, and experience people associate with your church. After 2 decades observing what works for tens of thousands of churches, we at Vanco have identified the 5 key components of strong church branding, along with the practical steps to make the process simple. Your church's mission statement is the heartbeat of who you are. It should answer this fundamental question: why do we exist? A strong mission statement is clear, memorable, and specific to your church's unique calling. It reflects your biblical foundation while pointing to the tangible ways you live out your faith. For example, to let people into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ through authentic worship, biblical teaching, and compassionate outreach. Notice how it focuses on purpose, approach, and values, all in one sentence. Your mission statement should guide every sermon, ministry, and community interaction. It's not just for the bulletin, it's for decision making, direction, and alignment. Now, let's talk about your vision statement. This answers, where are we going? While your mission grounds you in purpose, it's aspirational but achievable, something your congregation can rally behind. For example, to be a church known for transforming lives and communities through radical generosity and Christ-centered discipleship. The best vision statements inspire, they stir hearts, and they help your team measure progress, not just in numbers, but in impact. Together, your mission and vision shape your brand identity. They tell the world who you are, what matters most, and what you believe God has called your church to do. Crafting and wordsmithing these can seem like a challenge, but they don't need to be with the right tools. In our study guide, you'll find 2 free guides, one specifically for vision statements and one specifically for mission statements. Along with that, we created a free bot and prompts that walk you through the process, helping you to wordsmith the perfect vision and mission statement. We want to do everything we can for you to make the church vision and mission statement process as easy as possible. To simplify, go to the link within the study guide. It's this 50 plus free chat prompts for church leaders and pastors. Scroll down, find the church mission and vision statements. It'll anchor you right here. There is an instructional video here just in case you need some extra help. However, the process is pretty simple. The best way is to use this full prompt. Simply copy the whole thing. It's kind of long, so you just have to scroll all the way down to the bottom asterisk right here. Beneath it are a couple bots, although I do see better results for this one with the specific prompt. And all you have to do is copy and go into ChatGPT, paste it in, and now ChatGPT will act as a bot. And it will go through and ask each of the questions. Depending on how often you've used ChatGPT in the day, it may ask all the questions at once or one at a time like it's doing right here. It really doesn't matter how it does it. Just answer all of its questions with as much detail as you can. We find it is usually better if you involve committee members in the process along with your church leadership. Just to illustrate how this might work, I'm going to fill in details for a fictional church called Vanco Valley Church. I put in 5 things here that I think make Vanco Valley Church unique. You don't need to go into a lot of details. And then it asks who you are trying to reach. And this is particularly important for the vision statement. I'm going to put the unchurched. I think they're a good group to reach. And then it's going to want a Bible verse or passage that really represents your church. I just picked one that I really liked. Maybe you and your committee want to noodle on this a bit more. And then it's going to ask about a few of the ministry programs at the church. You don't have to go into all of them, just pick the top 3. And then it asks what words and phrases do people in your congregation use when describing your church to others. This is where committee help can come in handy. Next up, it asks, what's your biggest hope for your church's impact in the next 5 to 10 years? I said the biggest hope for Vanco Valley Church's impact in the next 5 to 10 years is to see a thriving multi-generational congregation that is actively making disciples, expanding outreach efforts locally and globally, and establishing new campuses to reach even more people. And last of all, it's going to ask if you have any existing taglines, mottos, or statements you want to preserve elements from. And this is important just for continuity. It's good to have that continuation from your old mission and vision statements to your new versions. And now it gives a series of mission statements and vision statements. Each statement is less than 155 characters, which works well for a mission and vision statement. And if you scroll down, you'll see a top recommendation here. And it shows 1 mission statement and 1 vision statement. We like to structure a lot of our prompts this way because it makes the robot iterate and then analyze its iterations to choose the best version. So it's just making it think a little bit harder for you. And if you're wondering why it thinks the pairing of the mission and vision statement works, it gives its reason. You can choose one of the other vision or mission statements, or you can simply ask it to generate more options. So I said, I don't like these, generate more options. And that pretty much covers how to create a mission and vision statement the easy way. If you would like to get more in depth on mission and vision statements, we did create 2 guides, one for vision statements and one for mission statements. And you can find those links within the study guide. Mission and vision statements are a good start, but what sets your church apart? Maybe it's your deep community involvement, your engaging youth program, or your commitment to social justice. These differentiators become your church's unique value proposition. Now let's talk about your voice. Your church's voice should be as distinct as your pastor's preaching style. Whether you're warm and conversational or direct and bold, your tone should stay consistent across bulletins, sermons, social posts, and even signage. Once you have your unique value proposition and understand the direction of your church's voice, you can build your church's tagline. It's essentially your church's elevator pitch. It's designed to be short, memorable, and rich in meaning. Think, come as you are, faith in action, or a place to belong. Now let's shift to visuals. Your church logo design should be simple, symbolic, and scalable. It should look great on everything from coffee mugs to worship slides. Avoid outdated imagery or overly complex graphics. There are plenty of tools out there if you're not a designer or don't have access to one. Tools like Canva, Hatchful, and Design Evo make creating or refining your church logo easy and free. You can find the links to these tools and more by simply going to the study guide in the notes. From there, you'll be able to access each one. Using each of these tools is really easy. The learning curve is very short, so you should be able to quickly pick up on them and build yourself a great looking logo. Aside from your logo, There's color and typography to think about. Stick to 3 to 4 colors that reflect your church's emotion and mood. Blues signal trust, greens growth, warm tones create a sense of welcome. For fonts, balance tradition and readability. A clean serif or sans serif will keep your materials legible and modern. And here's a big one: visual cohesion. Your website, social feeds, flyers, signage, they all need to feel connected. A brand guide is your secret weapon to ensure everything looks like it came from the same place. Now that you have the basic brand elements set, you'll need to have some sort of brand guidelines. Why is this important? Imagine this scenario. Every Sunday slide, flyer, social media post, and bulletin looks completely different. Different colors, different fonts, different tone. It doesn't feel cohesive, and visitors feel it too, portraying a church that is driftless. And for folks seeking connection and direction, such as newcomers and even members, they're looking for your church to give it to them. That's where a church brand guide comes in. It's more than just a design manual. It's your church's communication blueprint. It helps every staff member, volunteer, and ministry team speak with one unified voice. It doesn't need to be very in-depth. It simply needs to detail the following elements. The first is mission and vision statements, which we talked about, and then logo guidelines. For example, show how your church logo should and shouldn't be used. Include versions for light and dark backgrounds, minimum sizing, and spacing rules. You want your logo to look clean and professional, whether it's on a t-shirt, website, or street sign. The third is color palette. Define your primary and secondary colors. 4. Typography. Ideally, you want 1 to 2 main fonts for headings and body text. Prioritize readability and consistency. Avoid trendy fonts that age quickly or ornate scripts that are hard to read on a mobile screen. The 5th one is tone and voice. Provide examples, including sample captions, event invites, and announcement slides, so your team knows how to write in your church's voice. Number 6 is image guidelines. What types of photos reflect your church? Smiling volunteers, baptisms, worship in action? Define your visual style so media teams can choose imagery that aligns with your values. The 7th is templates and assets. Make life easier. Include ready-to-use templates for flyers, presentation slides, and social media posts. Add a link to your brand asset folder so your team can grab logos, color swatches, and design files on demand. The 8th is examples of good and bad usage. This is one of the most helpful parts of any brand guide. Show what on-brand looks like and what to avoid. Real examples help everyone stay aligned, especially when working quickly. A strong brand guide does not limit creativity. It unleashes it. When your team knows the rules, they can build with confidence. And when your materials look sound and feel unified, your message becomes unmistakably clear. Here's something we all know deep down. Facts inform, but stories transform. If your church wants to connect, not just communicate, storytelling is the bridge. When people visit your church website or scroll past your Instagram posts, they're not just looking for your service times. They're looking for a reason to care, a reason to stop, a reason to say, this place understands me. And stories are how you show them. So what makes a church story powerful? It's not perfection. It's not polish. It's honesty, hope, and transformation. Tell the story of a single mom who found community, the teen who discovered identity and purpose, the skeptic who came with questions and stayed for the love. These stories do more than warm hearts. They reinforce your mission. They bring your brand values to life in a way no tagline ever could. A great story turns your church's what we do into why it matters. Let's break down where storytelling fits in your brand. The first one is on your website. Use short, real testimonials to make your digital presence feel personal. Add video clips or written blurbs on your homepage or ministry pages. Let visitors see themselves in the stories you share. The second is on social media. Skip the stock images, feature members, volunteers, local impact. Use captions that invite reflection or questions. Here's an example. When Sarah first walked through our doors, she wasn't sure she'd stay. 2 years later, she leads our welcome team. The third is in your sermons. Incorporate personal testimonies or member spotlights into your teaching. When people see others living out the message, it becomes real, tangible, inspiring. The fourth is outreach and giving campaigns. Don't just say support our mission. Tell a story of someone whose life has changed because of that mission. Use photos, quotes, and short videos that highlight transformation. The fifth is in volunteer and new member materials. When people join your community, they want to know what kind of story they're stepping into. Share legacy stories, how your church began, key moments of impact, and personal testimonials that say, you belong here. If you're looking for help with new visitor or member materials, we have a free church visitor kit, which you can download for free. Simply visit our study guide and you'll find the link there. The sixth and final one is reviews. We mentioned reviews in our last session, and we're mentioning them again because they truly are important. Though you might not think of them as a story, they indeed are. They tell about someone's experience within the church. As we mentioned in our other videos, we find that Google reviews are the most helpful for gaining visibility in a local map pack, but reviews on Facebook or anywhere else help. Don't be shy to ask long-term members to leave a review, and include flyers with your review QR code within your church to encourage more reviews. If you forgot how to maximize reviews on Google, we explain it in our Google guide. Here's a truth that's easy to forget. Branding isn't a one-time project. It's a living part of your church. And like any living thing, it needs regular care. Once your brand is out in the world, across your website, signage, emails, and social platforms, it's time to ask, is it working? Start with data. Look at your website analytics. Are more people visiting your site? Are they staying long enough to learn about your ministries? Are giving and attendance rising? Are your social posts generating comments and shares? But the numbers only tell part of the story. Ask your congregation, can they describe your church's mission in one sentence? Do they feel the branding reflects who you are? Have visitors mentioned your digital presence? These qualitative responses offer vital clues about your brand's real-world impact. And remember, even with the best intentions, branding can drift. That's why regular brand audits are essential. Look for gaps. Is your mission still clearly communicated? Are your visuals still relevant? Do your sermon graphics still reflect your church's tone? We covered a lot in a short time, which is why we're offering a study guide jam-packed with free materials. It has 15 tools to strengthen your brand, welcome visitors, and grow your church in ways that really matter. But there's more. Because just like we don't want you missing out on those resources, we also don't want you to miss out on what's next. Vanco's built 3 smart, easy-to-use tools that bring your brand to life across every corner of your church, from how people give to how they engage. And trust me, They're built to make a big impact with very little lift. So with that, I'll pass it over to Mike. He'll show you exactly how to put them to work.
All right. Well, thanks, Jordan, for going through all that great information and sharing those awesome tips for helping churches to improve their brand, which can help them attract new visitors, build better community engagement, and increase giving. And so, with that said, I also wanted to highlight some things to keep in mind when it comes to choosing tools to help you promote your brand within your events and online giving tools. And so some of the things to keep in mind are things like choosing tools that help you simplify your branding process with expert guidance and built-in templates, using a platform that creates cohesive digital experiences for members and visitors, choosing a platform that allows you to design branded giving pages that inspire generosity, and choosing systems that can help you amplify your message and mission. And so here at Vanco, our goal is to help you tell your story, share your story, foster generosity, and gain insights on the back end to make informed decisions so you can elevate your community's experience through effortless giving and enhanced engagement. And so with that said, I'm going to jump into our Vanco Events software and showcase some of the elements and features you can utilize to enhance your branding efforts to further boost community engagement, build connections, and to inspire generosity and maximize giving. Now, if you aren't familiar with Vanco Events, it's our event management and ticketing platform here at Vanco, and it's a great tool to help you simplify your events management and as a means to boost community engagement, attract new members, and drive additional giving. And so there's a couple key features I wanted to highlight that allow you to quickly integrate your brand and message throughout your events process. And so when you're building an event, you have the option to integrate custom images, which can highlight your brand and message. And so one of the events that we've created here is a fall festival or a harvest fest. And so we can show you what that looks like on the page. And throughout this build process, you'll be able to add custom images. So in this case, we've added an image here that highlights Vanco Valley Community Church, and you can even have branded tickets on the back end when people purchase the tickets through your event pages as well. So as an example, you have the feature here on the template section where you can customize the look of your tickets. And so this could include custom messaging, could highlight potential sponsors at various events, or in this case, we've also added our logo here on the ticket. And so there's several different features available to integrate your branding and custom messaging throughout the event management, order forms, and ticketing process. Another great option is our fundraising pages. And so you can create your own custom fundraising pages. You can simply add the name, description, your fundraising goal, the different values you want to include, and then you can also upload custom images as well. So I'll show you one that we've made here already. We have our Vanco Valley Mission Trip fundraiser. And to show you what this looks like, we can go to images here. You can upload your logo, for example, a custom background image. Lots of flexibility here. But what this looks like on the back end when we visit this page. And so you can see now that we're on the page, we've got our logo added here. Again, if we wanted custom messaging here that fit our brand and our values, we could certainly include that as well on this page. But it's these kind of little details that you can implement across the board to integrate your church branding throughout your events that can help you go that extra mile to build that connected feeling and consistency across the board for your church branding. But with that said, I'm going to actually hand it over to Allie, and she's going to jump into showcasing some additional branding tools you can utilize through our online giving platform here at Vanco.
I'm going to pull up our Vanco Valley Community Church website. And Vanco Valley is not a real church. This is just a branded demo experience to show you what's possible when your digital presence reflects your mission, your message, and your generosity goals. And you can feel free to look at this site on your own free time as well. just go to vancovalleychurch.com and you can look through all of the pages and see how we have things set up. There's also a lot of really helpful tips and information for you there. But when you hit this homepage, you will see that, right from the beginning, everything is very cohesive. The branding is there, the color palette, the fonts, the logo, everything is very polished and intentional. And we've chosen images that really convey a sense of community and warmth. And it's really important when newcomers find your site that they immediately get a sense of who you are. And so everything is very clear and laid out here. And so that's really important because a polished digital presence builds credibility and trust even before they meet you in person. And making sure that your site is also mobile friendly is really a must these days because everybody is on their phones. So 2 quick things I want to touch on. If you do get a chance in your own time to come and look at vancovalleychurch.com, I want you to specifically look at the About Us page and the Missions page. The About page is going to be key in conveying your mission statement, your vision statement, and just really who you are as a church. And so this gives people a reason to walk through your front door. And so for newcomers, you want to include, all of that key information like service times, leadership information, contact information. You can include, info about your staff. You can include pictures about things that you're doing in the church, images of Sunday service and worship and missions initiatives that you're doing, just really anything that you want to include to tell the story of who you are and why you do what you do. And that will really get people excited to connect and get further involved. The second thing I'll touch on here is the missions page. So really beyond Sunday service, you want your missions page to be a page that exists where you can have a centralized location for information about what you're doing, success stories, announcements, just really one place where anybody from a newcomer to an existing member can come and find out what your church is doing to help your community. And so when you build this page, as we say here, really tap into the power of storytelling. You want to share powerful stories from people that your church has supported to make stewardship be tangible. And so if that's a missions trip to Africa, if that's, a food drive that you're doing, if it's, making 1,000, Thanksgiving boxed meals during the holidays, just whatever it is, you want to really showcase that here, and you want people to see where their generosity is going and how you're making impact in your community and beyond. And that will really get people excited to continue directing their generosity to your church and to, grow and continue engaging your members. So heading over to the Give Now page, one thing that Vanco does really well for our clients is we work with churches to make sure that they leverage the power of storytelling through generosity. And we believe in directed giving. We believe in the power of story to really ignite people and get them inspired to give. And so when we work with clients, we have this feature that they can leverage where it's essentially tiles for different funds and different storytelling with whatever they're raising money for. So as you can see here, and this is something I'll deep dive into so you can see exactly how this is built. But you could have everything from a general offering tile to your food pantry to VBS to your playground fund, your building fund. Really, the possibilities are endless. And you can set these up so that people can pick what they want to give to, whether it's one time or recurring. So for instance, if you wanted to do something for, let's say, Vacation Bible School scholarships, they would click on the tile, they would go in, there would be an image and a description, and this is where they would put in what they want to give. And so they could choose from one time or recurring. They can toggle between the two. So if they want to do recurring, they could do, every week. They would set their start date. They would click add to basket. and then they would proceed in making that payment. So one thing I want to call out real quick here is we do include the feature to share socially. So if you click on share, you could share out this specific fund, this specific tile to your community. You could share it on social, you could share it in WhatsApp, via text message, via email, or you could also just copy a direct link to this that people could access. So once I go ahead and add this to my basket, I'm going to see that it's in my basket here. It's also going to preview, or it's also going to show other things that you could select to give to. So you could keep selecting things that you want to add to your basket, and then you would continue to payment. You would have your credit or debit card option here, your bank account option. You would put in your info. It does allow you to save for future use, which is great. The other thing I want to call out is we have a toggle that allows them to select if they want to cover the processing fee. And what's nice about this is that you have the ability in the back end to always set this by default to be on. They could click it off if they want to, but we find that most people want to cover the fee. So that's something really nice that you could leverage. And so if I was going to continue with this, I would hit continue to review and I would finish that checkout process. But what I want to do real quick is I want to hop over and show you what it's like to build one of these tiles. So if you're in Vanco Online and you are under the giving section, you're going to have a couple different things here. You're going to have tiles, sites, and mobile. Mobile is where you can customize the mobile view of everything. Sites is essentially your giving page. They're little sort of micro sites that exist, and you can set things up for different initiatives that you're doing. Here, I'm going to go to tiles. And I'm going to wait for this to load here. So let's say that on my website, on my giving page, I want to have a new tile for, let's say it's the preschool fund. So I would go hit new tile. It's going to give me the choice between gift and payment. So gift is for things like donations, campaigns, fundraisers, memorials, any other like type of giving opportunity. Payment is if you're collecting payment for an event, for physical products that you're selling at your church, things like that. So I'm going to select gift. And the fun thing about this is it is so customizable. I'm going to label this preschool fund. I'm going to hit save and continue. These are so easy to set up, and it guides you through everything, every step that you're doing here. So I'm on the details step. So details for your tile, you're going to have your main description. So once they click into your tile, you want to have a very informative and inspirational description of what this fund is, what you're taking donations for. Make sure to really use the power of story with this. You will put in a description, and for the sake of time here, I'm just going to put in some dummy text here. Now, when I go down to short description, the short description is what people see before they open your tile. So this is like your preview text. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go down to button label. You can customize what your button says, or you can choose from something that we already have suggested here. So I'm going to choose Give Now, hit Save and Continue. Okay, so now I'm in the Add an Image step. Here is where you can add your own image, or you could choose from many free high-resolution images that we include from Unsplash. So I'm going to go ahead and search for an image. There's tons here that you can see. I'm going to choose this one. It allows you to crop the image if you'd like. So I'm going to go ahead and crop. I'm going to hit Save. And then that is going to save the image cropped as I had specified, and then that will move us into the next step here. So the next step after we've done image, we're in gift step now. And so this is where you are going to choose the fund that will receive the money collected from this tile. And so this money will be collected and tracked and deposited into the fund's associated bank account. So I know that I want this to go into the preschool fund. So I'm going to select preschool. You also have the option to create a new fund, and you can set that up here. You're going to select the frequency that you would like to offer for the transaction for this. So if you want one-time giving or recurring giving, you can select whichever frequency that you prefer. You can also allow installments if you were doing something like a pledge drive or capital campaign. You can also choose an end date for a recurring gift. And then the other thing you can also do is have custom fields. So custom fields are really useful for if somebody is, giving a donation in memory of someone, you can set that up to have that be a custom field option. I'm not going to select that for this one, but know that you do have that option. So I'm going to hit save and continue. So you can see a preview of the tile here, and you're in your review step now. So you need to select if you want your tile to be visible or hidden. And the difference between that would be if you want it to be visible, it will show up on your site. If you want it to be hidden, it's still active, but it's only accessible via a direct link, an embed, or a QR code. So I want this to appear always visible on our Vanco Valley Community Church site, both desktop and mobile. So I'm selecting those and I'm hitting done. And so now as that's saving, it's bringing us back. So what I want to do now is I want to make sure that that is here. So preschool fund has been created. I want to check for my Vanco Valley Community Church to see if the tile has popped up. So this is where you can drag and drop your tile order. So how you want your tiles to appear on your site. And so preschool fund is at the bottom. I want to move that up. And so I'm going to make sure I hit save. Everything is saved successfully. So I'm going to go to actions. Before I go and view the site just to check on everything, I just want to call out that here under actions, you can do copy site link. You can get the code to embed that giving site, or you can view the QR code. And the QR code is available to download. And if you want to share this on printed materials or have it be on slides during your Sunday service, that's a great way that you can showcase that. So I'm going to go and view the site. And that's loading now. So when this loads, we will see that preschool tile that I created. It will be near the top of the screen. Yep, you can see it right here. It is nested in with everything else. And if you ever want to make changes to anything, you can always go into my Vanco and change things however you want. You can switch out images and whatnot. Totally customizable. People really love this because it just brings everything to life that you're trying to do. So now that we've talked about branding and tips and best practices, I do want to point out something that we do offer. We have a free church branding toolkit to really help you leverage what we're teaching you today. And so we'll include a link so that you can access that, but really make sure you take some time and browse this. We have so much for you. We have guides to help write your vision and mission statements. We have tools for logo design, branding materials, things like that. Very, very, very helpful to you in your journey. And people that have leveraged this have just found a lot of success with it. So we're excited to offer that to you as well. Let's jump into how you can get started utilizing these tools and strategies to help accelerate growth and drive giving and engagement at your church. Now, obviously, there are a lot of different giving platforms available in today's market, and we know that many churches are already utilizing online giving. But if you're watching this and you aren't utilizing a giving platform currently, or maybe you're just looking to make a switch to a better option, let's talk about why you should choose Vanco. There are a lot of different reasons, but our top 10 include things like our white glove customer service and support, our free mobile church app, our enhanced giving pages and tiles, our multiple donation options, the fact that we have no long-term contracts, our complete data security, and the fact that we integrate seamlessly with over 60 church management systems. You'll also get quick access to donated funds. And we offer free launch materials and in-depth training to drive church growth. Plus, we have over 20 years of experience helping over 25,000 churches to grow giving and much more. Now, in addition to these great reasons, our team at Vanco put together 10 simple steps to boost engagement, maximize giving, and accelerate church growth. And with this simple framework, we can help turn your church into a thriving community. So the foundation of our process starts with setting up your online giving tools and giving pages, hosting community events and small groups to attract new members, effectively sharing your giving link online and with your community, promoting recurring giving to your members, showcasing stories and the impact your donations can make, thanking givers and providing updates on impact, creating internal champions, and maximizing fundraising efforts through simplifying capital campaigns and utilizing giving data to scale growth and increase retention. Overall, our goal here at Vanco is to help your church tell your story, share your story, foster generosity, and gain insights on the back end so you can make educated decisions to help you elevate your community's experience through effortless giving and enhanced engagement. Getting started with us is incredibly simple. To get started, you can connect with our team here at vancopayments.com or give us a call directly at the number you see here on the screen, and our team will be happy to help you build your optimized giving system today. Thanks so much for watching, and we look forward to working with you.